everyone. Thank you so much for checking out my very first tier ranking video. This officially October, so you know what that means. It's spooky season. And on this video, I'm going to be ranking the Jason Voorhees looks. I really wanted to do something special for this Halloween, this October, so I figured I'd do 3 tier rankings, and what better way to do the big 3. So this video is going to be on the Jason Voorhees looks. My next one will be on the Freddy Krueger looks, and then, of course, my main man, Michael Myers, leading up to Halloween. But overall, this ranking system will strictly be over the look of Jason, not really the portrayal or the actors who portrayed Jason in the films or even on the films. It's just the actual look of the Jason Voorhees in the movies. And I've got 5 categories in this ranking, so let's check them out. Coming in at dead last is going to be It's Got a Death Curse. This category is pretty much dead last. There's nothing I like about the look whatsoever, and just very disappointed. And the spot above that is You're All Doomed. This tier is pretty much, it's okay. I can live with it or live without it. It's not that big of a deal. The next one is Camp Blood. The Camp Blood tier is strictly passable. It's not the greatest, but it is passable, and I can live with it. When I watch the film, I'm like, it's all right. So it's not the best, it's not the worst. And the next category is You've Done Your Job Well and Mommy is Pleased. This right here, this tier is, I absolutely love the looks of Jason, but there are some things that I would tweak myself. But this is like Jason right there being perfect and being creepy. But I do, on this tier, enjoy the look of Jason. And finally, coming in at number 1, it will be the Jason Lives tier. That is where I feel like the Jasons are pretty much perfection. The scariest look of Jason, and overall the intensity of Jason in this. Like I said, I know I'm not going by the actors, but yes, this tier, Jason Lives. I think the makeup artist, director, whoever you want to call them, I think they got it perfect. So with that being said, let's get started and let's kick off this tier ranking. So we're going to start this ranking off with the 1980 Friday the 13th little Jason Voorhees. And overall, this look is, it's okay. It's not really a standout look of Jason, but it is the first time that we ever get to see little Jason or Jason at all. It was Tom Savini's work, and we only get to see him for just a few seconds on the screen. But I'm going to put Jason number 1, little Jason, into the Camp Blood tier. Like I said, it's passable, and for them not to know that they were going to do sequels, and we didn't know we was going to get sequels. If they would have just went with this, yeah, like I said, it's passable. But I do feel like when you look at the certain pictures of where he's more clean and stuff, I figure that's why they didn't show him a whole lot in the first place. But yeah, he's going into the Camp Blood ranking. All right, so now we have Sackhead Jason from Friday the 13th Part 2. And this one, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I am moving this bad boy into You've Done Your Job Well and Mommy is Pleased. I adore this look of Jason. I love the Sackhead look. I like the overalls. This is the more realistic Jason. This is what they call the hillbilly Jason. And I've heard a lot of people complain about, well, he's too wiry or he's too clumsy. And which always blows my mind, because if you watch the Scream movies, Ghostface is always tripping over something or he's being clumsy, and they love them films. But like I said, this interpretation of Jason, because this is the first time we see adult Jason, I like the look. I like the one eye and the sack head. Overall, I think it's a creepy look. I love the movements of them. I just like that, they just got the overalls, and I think it was a plaid shirt they got. It's believable that this guy was living out in the woods. But yes, I love this look of Jason. Okay, now we're going to Jason from Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. And overall, this is a very clean look of Jason. I do kind of wish they would have kept the long-haired Jason with the beard and stuff like that. But for some reason, they went with the shaved head and shaved face for Jason. But I do like the look under the mask, which I forgot to mention that on Jason from Part Two. I love that look, and that's one of the reasons too why he went into that ranking system or that tier ranking. But this Jason, I'm going to put him right at "You've done your job well, and mommy is pleased." Once again, this is the iconic look of Jason with the mask, and this is before any of the damage has ever happened to the hockey mask, so it's very clean, very pristine, and I like the almost hunchback look of Jason in this. The clothing is just simple, and when he does finally reveal his face, I think it's a good look. Like I said, I do prefer the look from Part 2 a little more because it's more realistic, but yes, I do enjoy this look from Friday the 13th Part 3. Okay, now we're moving into Jason from Part 4, the final chapter. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. This is the very first Jason look that's going into the Jason Lives tier. I love this look of Jason. I love the dirty hands, the long fingernails of Jason. I love that they kept the axe mark into the Jason mask with all the blood coming down. It's like stained the mask. The little red symbols on the mask are falling off. And I know I said I wasn't going to go by the actor, but I will just say Ted White made this Jason just seem more of a beast type. And I really enjoy the look of Jason. And this was one of the films that really creeped me out when I was little watching it, was Ted White's performance as Jason. But like I said, it's not just Ted White. I'm not going by the actor. But when the final act, when they knock the mask off and Jason turns his face toward the camera and he almost looks like what he did, which it makes sense because I believe Tom Savini came back to do the makeup, but it looks like an older version of Tom Savini's Jason in Part 1. I love that look. And yes, this to me is, when I think of Jason, this is one of the first looks that I go to. Absolutely love this look. All right. I know I'm going to get some hate on this, and because I can already hear everybody say, well, he's not Jason, he's not Jason. But I am putting Roy's Jason into this tier ranking because, I mean, he does wear the hockey mask and stuff. But with that being said, I'm going to put Rory's Jason into the "you're all doomed" category. It's funny because there are certain shots that I've seen of the movie that to me he does look creepy, but this is also one of the films that shows his eyes a whole lot. And they, of course, they have the blue marks instead of the red, but it literally looks like it's like a Michael Myers jumpsuit, and they just took the Michael Myers mask off and put a Jason mask on. Uh, Overall, there's nothing really about this look. It's just kind of bland, but there is certain still shots that I have seen where you can't see the eyes, and he does look a little creepy. But I don't know. Overall, it looks like a cheap Halloween costume ripoff of Jason Voorhees. So that's why he's going into that category. Okay, now we're moving along to Jason from Part 6, Jason Lives. And let's see, we're going to be putting him into the "you've done your job well and mommy is pleased." I enjoy this look of Jason, obviously. I dig the mask where all it has is just a single triangle here. The mask looks a little wider in this film, and this is the first zombie Jason, and that's what really knocks it out of the park for me, is the first time we see Jason and he's got the maggots all over him, and when he opens his eyes after the lightning strikes and wakes him up. I love the menacing look when he gets up, and I think you can only see one eye. And yeah, this is just overall a good look for Jason. But the reason he's not coming in at Jason Lives, the best tier on this ranking, is because I don't really dig the bright yellow gloves he wears and the tool belt. I know a lot of people say this is like the Home Depot version of Jason or something like that, to that effect. I do like the look of Jason, but there is certain times where I'm like, I wish they'd have made him look just a little bit more rough. Because like I said, them bright yellow gloves kind of takes it apart, and then like I said, him wearing the tool belt. But like I said, as far as what's under the mask, I really dig, and I do actually like just the hockey mask because, like I said, it's just got like a little more darker tone to me, and it's more round. But yeah, I do enjoy Jason from Part 6. Okay, so now we're at Jason from Part 7, The New Blood. And it should be no shock to anyone that I am moving this guy right into the Jason Lives category. One of the best looks in the entire series, probably the best look. Let's just get real about it. Uh, the makeup effects is wonderful, where you can see the spinal cord and ribs of Jason. Everything that has been done to him in the previous films shows in this movie. The white hockey mask, it's got the scratches on it, but half of his left side of his mask is gone, where it's exposing his jaw and his teeth. Looks phenomenal. And we can't talk about this Jason look without mentioning when the mask cracks right down the middle, and that just, it almost looks like a demon type look of Jason. I love that look. Uh, yeah, this to me is probably, there's one more I'll mention here in a little bit, but this to me is probably the scariest look of Jason. But yes, I just love this look. The chains hanging down from his neck is awesome. Just everything about this look of Jason, it just screams, hey, this right here, this is the top tier of Jason Voorhees. Like, this is the one that I would hate to see coming after me out of the lake. I love it though. Okay, and now we're at Jason from Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. And I can already hear the keyboards a typing. I'm putting Jason from Part 8 into the Jason Lives tier. I don't know why everybody complains about this look of Jason. Oh, he's too wet. Oh, he just looks gooey the whole time. He's a dead guy that was underneath the lake for we don't know how long. I love the look. I love the main thing I love about this is, yes, the mask is a little wider and it's a little bit more yellow, but I love that the red marks are going up now. And I love the fact that you never see Jason's eyes in this. This is a great look. It's right underneath Part 7, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of when he takes the mask off later in the film when the toxic waste gets thrown in his face. I think we can all agree on that, that that's not the best look of Jason. But as far as the mask and the outfit, I love it. I think it's awesome. So, I mean, like I said, I don't get why everybody hates it, but I know they all talk about him, like I said, being wet and slimy, but to me, that brought something new to it. It wasn't the same old look, but yeah, I really enjoy this look of Jason. Okay, and so now we're down to Jason from Jason Goes to Hell, and I am moving this big guy right into the It's Got a Death Curse. I hate this look. Absolutely hate this look. I don't like the fact that his head is all bubbled up around the mask and it has grown into him. Uh, I don't like the fact that he's got a button up, almost like a blue or gray long sleeve shirt, and he's got it tucked into his pants with a belt on. I don't get that. There's nothing menacing about this look of Jason. I heard some people say they absolutely love it. And if that's your opinion, hey, great. I'm glad we can agree to disagree. But to me, there's nothing scary about this look. I don't even like the little strands of hair that is on Jason. Uh, yeah, just overall, not a good look for Jason. But I mean, he did fit into that movie because I didn't like the movie either. So, all right, so there's actually two in this film, and this is Jason X. And this look right here is before he becomes Uber Jason. I actually kind of dig this look. I like the shape of the hockey mask, and I do like that they got the chains around them. But overall, I think I'm going to put him into the Camp Blood tier. It's passable. It's not one of my favorites or nothing like that, but there's just little things that I like about the costume, and there's things I don't. I don't really like the fingerless gloves on Jason. Uh, I don't know and I may be wrong, but it looked like a UPS brown look, like the suit that Jason wore. I'm not too crazy about it, but I do like the scalp where he's got the patches of hair. I do like the look of the Jason mask. And like I said, I like the chains. And at the very beginning, when it shows Jason, chained up, I like that look. He looked menacing. Uh, but like I said, I'm putting in this category because it's not my favorite, but I don't roll my eyes when I watch this film. I mean, it's like, hey, you know what? That was what they was going for. It was something new. I did dig it, but like I said, it's just right there. It's passable. Okay, and now we're moving on to Uber Jason, and we're gonna move this guy straight into the. It's got a death curse. I don't like anything about this look. I think that the Jason looks too bulky. I don't care for the mask. When he turns into Uber Jason, I feel like they put him in such a big suit that he can't even put his arms down. Uh, I think the only thing that would even be cool on this is the contacts, but even that, he just couldn't be able to even do the movement as Kane Hodder would perform in the other Jason Friday 13th movies. Yeah, I just feel like it was just too. It was too much. It was too big, and I don't know. It almost looked like a Shredder look from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle films, which I do like the Shredder look, but this one not in a Jason film. But yeah, I just never really did dig this look of Jason. Okay, now we're at the Jason from Freddy versus Jason. And let's see, I'm going to move him right into You've Done Your Job Well and Mommy is Pleased. I really enjoy this look of Jason. I love the height of Ken Kersinger. I feel like it was a Frankenstein type Jason. I love the big overcoat that he wore in it. Uh, I like the black, like his head. He's been in the ground for so long that his head's turned black. I love the hockey mask look in this. Uh, I do wish we didn't get to see his eyes as much, but overall, just looking at the total physique of Jason in this film, he's even got like the big platform boots. It looks like Freddy, or not Freddy. I'm sorry, Frankenstein would wear. Overall, I like this Jason look. Uh, it may not have been the best Jason out of all the Friday the 13th films, but the look I think is really cool. Uh, I don't know. Even the strands of hair in this one wasn't as noticeable as like the one from Jason Goes to Hell or something like that. Uh, but yeah, and then especially when he gets the scratches on his mask when he's fighting Freddy, I like that look as well. Okay, now we're at the 2009 remake. This is going to be the Sackhead Jason. And I'm going to move him right into the You've Done Your Job Well and Mommy is Pleased tier. I really enjoy this look. Like I said when we first started, I love the look from part two, but this one right here, I think that the bandaged over his head is that's the way I took it. It looked more like bandage than just a sack. I love that they brought back the one eye in this film. The overall like tattered clothing that he wears, I think is menacing. I really feel like this kid, that seen his mom die and that I guess he was living at Crystal Lake for all these years. I feel like this is something that somebody could actually do just like they did from the original part two. So yeah, I love this look. It's very creepy. Uh, I almost wish we could have seen the whole film in this look and then do like a Friday 13th part two with him getting the hockey mask. But yeah, I really like this Sackhead look in the 2009 remake. Okay, now we're down to the final one, and it is the 2009 remake Jason with the hockey mask. And I've got to move him straight up to Jason Lives. Love this look. It's just they. This is the movie that brought Jason to be creepy again. I absolutely love once Jason puts that mask on and looks in the mirror, and you hear the. I love that. Uh, Once again, the physique of this Jason is just menacing. I love the fact that this one is so tattered that it's not clean. Like I was really hoping they wasn't going to make it like part three where Jason finds the mask and it's really clean. This one's already been scratched up. It looks like it's been used. Uh, Overall, with the clothes, same thing I just said as far as Sackhead Jason, the tattered clothes. It's just like he's got a shirt on with an overshirt over it. Uh, yeah, it's just a menacing look of Jason, and the presentation that Derek Mears brought to the Jason made it even more creepy with his movements. But I like the fact that we don't get to see Jason's eyes again. Like I said, this was when this came out in 2009. Even though I still love the other Friday 13th films, to me, Jason wasn't scary anymore. And Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy versus Jason. Those three just really didn't ever look creepy enough to be like, when I seen this look from this movie, yeah, definitely brought back the old school vibes, and I loved it. Just like his hands are all, grown out, just messed up, like his fingernails and stuff. Like I said, overall, he looks like just like a dirty victim, a survivor that's been out there for years. And I absolutely love the look they brought to this film. Okay, so that is my tier ranking of the Jason Voorhees looks. Please leave your comments in the comment section. Tell me your ranking. I'd love to hear your guys and gals ranking. And as always, if you can't get enough horror talk, please check out my podcast, mine and my buddies' podcast, Small Town Horror with Johnny and Randy. We're available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can listen to podcasts. And now we have a brand new YouTube channel. So look us up, Small Town Horror with Johnny and Randy. We've already done 3 episodes on there now, so check us out. But as always, God bless each and every one of you, and until next time.